Live from the spectacular Garden Route in South Africa. We're streaming worldwide on eRadioSA.com.
And it's time for Travel Tuesday right here on eRadio. It's just after 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock. 3 minutes past 2, in fact. And this is Lunch with Jan. Rose, I almost added an hour there.
It would have been wonderful. We'll be really pissed by then.
My big question is it beer o'clock already?
Well, I wish it was. Yesterday by 11 o'clock I was drinking on the job.
Oh, but you can do that. You're allowed to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, it was really awesome, actually. I was like thinking about it. Why can't we have beer for breakfast? I quite like it.
Yeah, and it says so lacquer, beer for breakfast. Kind of sounds like it belongs together. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, Rose, apparently a storm isn't the only thing that's brewing in the garden route today.
Yeah, I can tell you this much. The first time I came to the garden route, I never even knew about craft beer. And back then I met a guy called Mike who was a microbrewer and just brewed from home. And the guys used to get together like once every so often. It was a slow food movement. I actually met Mike at Zucchini's back then. And he was talking about beer and he let us taste this beer. And I was like, oh my word, this is like completely different. And I actually took a liking in beer 10 years ago. So yeah, never knew about microbrewing, never knew about craft beer. And it definitely came alive for me in the garden route anyway.
Yeah, you know, Rose, I always thought, that beer is beer, but you get different kinds of beer and they don't taste the same. They look the same sometimes, but they definitely don't taste the same.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I have learned, being involved with a beer festival and tasting beer and drinking beer and pairing beer and all those things, that I actually discovered that beers actually have more tones than wine. And like a wine, it's got different palates. So the different palates like different things. And, some people will taste a wine like a Chardonnay and go, ooh, wow, that's terrible. And some people would taste a Chardonnay and go, ooh, that's divine. Same with beer. There's so many things that beer has to offer. Besides the hops and barley, there is definitely an experimental thing away as well, besides the normal IPA, vices, lagers, ales, stouts, and all those kind of beers. There's always somebody that tries something seasonal. Like yesterday, I was completely surprised by the beer that I had. It was strawberry beer.
What?
Or seasonal. Almost tasted like a cider. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Wow, strawberry beer. That's a first. I must be living under a rock. I didn't even know that you get strawberry beer.
Well, neither did I. But it's once again, it's all. I think the nice thing about beer is that your imagination is, the sky's the limit kind of thing. So if you have imagination, you can create anything. I remember we spoke about the Overberg last week, and there's beer called Folly Fraser, and this guy, I bought 2 beers from him, and the one was a condensed milk stout, and the other one was a raspberry or a hazy ale kind of thing. I can't remember. I just drank it. It was absolutely delicious.
Sure.
So once again, it just proves to you that you can play with beer and add and experiment. It all depends on you as a brewer, I guess. And that's the amazing thing about beer. And then years and years ago, yesterday, let's talk about Sedgefield breweries. Years and years ago, I met Tony and decided to actually do a beer instead of just tasting the beer and going, okay, this is an IPA and this is an ale and this is a Indian pale one, a vice, and this is a that. Instead of doing that, I'm actually going to take the beer and go and take these beers away and pair them with things in my surrounding. So I took the golden ale to the fish place, and I actually had fish and chips with that. And I decided to have the IPA with venison pies from the pie place, and it actually does that. It does exactly that. It brings out whatever you're eating. It also brings out the flavors that you enjoy as well. So it's not beer is definitely not a one-dimensional thing.
No,
it can be
not after today.
Blended. No. Yes. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about Sedgefield breweries, because that's where I spent my time yesterday. And they had quite a few beers there, but I'm a real girl when it comes to some beers, and I quite like the Golden Ale, which is a really light, lovely beer for a lady. The gentleman that was with me, he absolutely loved the Weiss. I tasted the Weiss and decided that it tastes like burnt chocolate, burnt whatever. But then again, you taste the stout, and the stout has this fabulous aftertone of chocolate in your mouth. You know, it's got that kind of feel. And you have the IPA. I quite like an IPA, but I like an IPA, like I said, with something really spicy, like a curry or a strong tasting meat or something like that. It actually complements each other very well. And the lovely thing about the Garden Route is because of our craft breweries, and craft brewery is something that's developed all over South Africa, but we really have some excellent beers in the Garden Route, and some really passionate people about it. So, having said that, we're probably going to have to mention like a few places that you can go and try some craft beer and taste beer. And
yes.
Some of them I have not been to, but some of them I have. And the first craft beer, quite on a commercial scale, that I ever tasted in the Garden Route was the Glenhoff Golden Ale. And that specific beer, I actually also went and paired with food in Mossel Bay at a restaurant, and it's got this very fine feel in your mouth when you actually drink this beer. It's smooth, it's easy, and it's, like I say, it's a real girl beer, and it's almost like a beer champagne, because the feeling that you have left in your mouth is a smooth, easy feeling. You don't feel like that tangy feeling that some beers give you. Yeah. So I really, really enjoyed Glenhoff. So Glenhoff has 3 beers. I got a lager, an ale, and a API. Yeah. An API, yeah. And then we're going to a little bit over the mountain to Oudtshoorn. Now, Oudtshoorn's got 2 lovely craft breweries. The one is called Thorny Creek. I have not been there, so I can't really speak about the beers, but that will definitely be one that I'll be stopping over soon. But the other one was Caruso. Now, Caruso, as we know, is actually a wine farm, and they actually have made some beers. And I've had some of their beers there as well, they're also lovely. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about a few places that is craft stops as well. So one of my favorite spots is the Salty River Breweries. So they don't manufacture their own, or they don't make their own beers, but they keep a whole range of craft beers from all over the country. And if you really want to have a treat, that's really an awesome little place to stop as well. So stop at Salty River. They have these beautiful pizzas. You sit outside, look over the mountains, and you can taste. And he will tell you, try this or try that, or kind of thing. So it's very nice. And they choose, he also understands your palate. So try this kind of beer. So it's not people who are just standing there and pouring your beer. They actually understand the beer that they're giving to you.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to, obviously, we spoke about Sedgefield breweries. And, of course, my other big favorite is Red Bridge. We all know Red Bridge beer. Yeah. Derivative of the name from the bridge. And the one thing I do know about Red Bridge, before it was owned by Darren, it's now owned by Dave, if I understand, or there are a couple of brews, but I know Dave is involved. And they have definitely, I haven't been there for a while, I should really go, but I really do enjoy a good Red Bridge beer. I'm not even going to mention all, they've got IPAs, they've got lagers, they've got ales, but the one thing about Red Bridge that I absolutely love. Besides the fact that there's a lot of passion and smooth and this easy drinking beer, is that they have this lovely environment where you can actually go and sit, and they have live music, they have good food. It's in the industrial area, which I quite like, because it actually brings like a little bit of livelihood in a different space. So yeah, if you're ever in Knysna, definitely do a little bit of a Red Bridge visit in the beers. And a new place is, well, not new, it's opened a while ago, and I have been invited, but I haven't been there yet, is Barrington's in Plet. And they say, well, it said that Barrington's is the first craft brewer opening in Plet, so I need to go and have a visit there. I also saw they've got interesting beers. They've got Scholches and they've got certain stouts and very German kind of things. So it will be interesting to go and taste and try those beers and see what they're like. And obviously they have wine, and it's a restaurant environment as well. So I can't wait to actually get there and have a try.
Yeah.
I thought there was a little brewery called Visanthoek. Never heard of it, but I found it. And it seems like they only open on weekends. I wouldn't mind actually going to do that for an interesting visit as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if I might have to get a driver home.
Yes, I think so, Rose. I think you might need a driver home.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we have, as I said, we have quite a few. And then, of course, there's the Blind Pig. I can't leave the Blind Pig out. The Blind Pig is the Wilderness. Of the same family as Salty River, serving a whole bunch of craft beers, obviously something of your choice. They have some really good food under the trees there at the Old Palms Hotel. Great place. Live music on a Friday evening. Always incredible beer. I always, that's one of my favorite spots that I actually stop sometimes for after a Friday afternoon. You can go in there and have a beer, just relax and enjoy a beer, and they really serve some good food in that area as well. So whether you want some foodies or you just want to have a beer, you'd be welcome to, and chat to the guys. I mean, those guys really know what they're talking about, so they've been around for long enough. Yeah. So the crafters in this, I would say the crafting beers in this area is really good. And so yesterday I was at Sedgefield Breweries, and as I said, I spoke to Ross. No, Ross bought over Sedgefield Breweries from Tony Hunter. Tony Hunter was a businessman who basically started it as a hobby. He wasn't corporate, and he started it as a hobby, and he basically found that he was just having way too much fun making this beer. And he almost became a prominent figure in Sedgefield eventually with his beer. I remember he was part of the slow festivals and all those kind of things as well. And he wanted to sell at one stage. He didn't say too much about it, but he wanted to sell. But he was very specific about who he wanted to sell to. And he eventually sold to Ross. And Ross is quite a dynamic young man, which is in the regard of he actually has a passion for what he's doing. His background was more distilling, but I mean, he could automatically, he's kind of just extending his craft into beer. And he had some ales, lagers, some weisses, some IPAs, and then he had this seasonal beer, which was pink. And I was like, what the hell? And this is the one that he actually made with the strawberry. So he added the strawberries to this thing.
My word.
I cannot, so I tasted it, and then I was like, oh, I'm super impressed with this. And I actually bought a couple of them and I took them home. And I actually had them with fish, which I caught myself, by the way.
Oh, well done.
I was very, very impressed with the shad. So we brought the shad and we had strawberry beer, and I really enjoyed it. So yes, if you're coming to the Garden Route and you love beer, there's definitely quite a few little places that you should visit and along the Garden Route when it comes to craft beer and Oudtshoorn, of course.
I will have way too much of that strawberry beer because it's probably going to taste like a cider or cool drink, and I'll be so drunk. You don't want to see me drunk, Rose.
Yeah, you do, Tina. When it tastes a little bit like that, it actually does goes down so easily that you don't actually realize how fast you are drinking.
Exactly.
But I would recommend it. Yeah, I definitely would recommend
fantastic. Rose introducing us to strawberry beer today. That's fantastic. Rose, thank you so much. Just to give us your social media details again. It's always nice to follow you on social media and see those beautiful pictures you're posting, especially if you're up there paragliding.
Yeah. So my social media handles on Instagram and Twitter is at GoTravelBug. On Facebook, I'm Travelbug Rose, or you can Google at GoTravelBug as well. And www.gotravelbug.co.za on my website. And you can actually Google beer on my website, and you will come across those blogs that I wrote about the pairing. So, the beer pairing stuff, what to pair an IPA with, what to pair a golden ale with, and so on. And so it was really, as I say, it's a personal experience, but it's all about your palate and what you enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Rose, thank you. Love it. This was a very, very nice discussion today. I always like discovering new things. Thanks to you. And then we'll do it next Tuesday again at 2 o'clock. Hey, it's almost our birthday, Rose.
I know, next week Tuesday. Yes, that's right. So Tuesday is 11th, and the Wednesday is our birthday.
Yes. Can you believe it? Unreal. Let's just not talk about the ages.
No, I don't. I think you're way younger than me anyway.
I am, yes, but but I stopped having birthdays at the age of 30.
I tried that. It doesn't work. Sorry.
Oh, gosh. Well, thanks for telling me. Awesome. Oh, Rose, thank you so much. Let's chat again next Tuesday, the day before our birthday. And you go well. Whatever you're doing this afternoon, I'm sure it will be great and adventurous.
Yeah, well, it's not really. I'm actually sitting in front of my laptop trying to write some stuff. So let's see if I get that right.
Well, enjoy it. I'm sure you will. Until next week. Thanks so much, Rose.
Take care.
You too. Bye.